obviously won't be using it. Hello and welcome to thelondonbiker.com. You join me in the barn again. Now, in the last video, we talked about pots and pans and things to cook with on the road. But what we haven't covered are the stoves themselves. And of course, without heat, there's no decent food. Now, we talked about understanding what it is that you're going to be cooking on the road. Do you plan on doing gourmet meals like we've been doing in our videos? Or do you plan on doing very, very basic things? Do you plan on using these boil in the bag jobs, which just require boiled water? Or in some cases, not even boiled water. They come with their own heater packs. Or do you plan on doing big, complicated meals for two of you? And that's the question you need to answer first, because if all you really need is boiled water, there are a whole host of options out there. Things from Jet Boil, things from MSR, that just boil water fast. And they're worth taking a look at. Now, today we're going to concentrate on the cookers for actual cooking. And there are a few different systems available. We're going to be looking at a system that's based on the Optimus Nova, which is plugged into the Trangia system, which is the multi-fuel burner. We're going to be looking at a Primus system, and we're going to be looking at an MSR system. Those three systems between them have different strengths and weaknesses. We're just going to explore what they are. So let's start off with the one that I've taken all around the world for me. It's the Trangia. It's rock solid. People are passionate about Trangia. There are groups on Flickr and Facebook about Trangia. People love them. An old design, a classic design, absolutely solid. Now, the original design of these units were that it has the wind shield built into it, and inside here you just rest a little meths burner. Now, this little meths burner produces a flame that you can alter slightly, but to be honest, it does not take a while to cook. We took it down to Devon when I first bought this. This is the Trangia 25, which is the larger system. The Trangia 27 is the smaller one. I know, it makes no sense, but stay with me. The Trangia 25, the smaller system, sorry, the larger system, the meths burner takes ages to boil water, and if there is a breeze, even with the windshield, it takes a long time. Now, I tried to cook a gammon steak on the frying pan on the top of this with a meths burner. Forget it. The frying pan's just too far away from the heat. I tried to boil potatoes. They took about 45 minutes. It just took a long time, and that prompted me to buy the multi-fuel burner for this system. Now, the multi-fuel burner is designed for this system. It's the same system broadly as the Optimus Nova uses. And the burner sits in here, and you'll see that on the modern sets, they've got gaps in the side for the controller and for the actual lead that comes out to the bottle that contains the fuel. This is the system you've seen me do all the cooking videos on so far. Bomb-proof, or so I thought. As I explained in the last video, the fuel bottle that it comes with, the pressure valve that gives the system pressure to go out to the burner has stopped creating pressure. I can't fix it. Now, the replacement for this, these are £139 for the full multi-fuel unit. The bottle and adapter, the thing that does the pressure, is £69.99. I thought that was a lot of money for a replacement part, and I bought that for that reason. But Trangia, brilliant system, very versatile, lots of accessories you can buy for it, bags, you just lots of stuff you can do with it. You can have it as compact as you like, or you can have it as broad as you like, with all different bits and pieces. So I've moved on now to the MSR Dragonfly. Now, I've moved to the MSR Dragonfly after I contacted MSR and asked for their advice. This is a standalone stove. Doesn't sit within a pot set. You need to decide what pot you want. It's fairly well designed. The unit pops out there. This is the MSR stove that has simmer control. So this is the unit that controls how much fuel is going into the unit. This is the unit that goes out to the fuel bottle. And the reason why I didn't go for this MSR in the beginning was because the fuel bottle valve, this thing, is plastic. But I've just had this. We're going to give it a go. We've done some cooking on it already. And the first thing I noticed about it was that because this is an open unit like this, I could actually get the frying pan, the skillet, much closer to the flame and get it a lot hotter. So for stir frying and noodles and that kind of thing, it seems more durable so far. I don't like the fact that it's not really within it doesn't come with its own windshield. And actually this is where it falls down. This is the heat reflector and windshield that it comes with. The reflector sits on the bottom of the stove, so you place that on the ground, place the unit on top of it, and then the windshield just unwraps around it. Now, if you've looked at some of the camping videos we did out in my garden with this unit, you will notice this got blown around quite a lot. I mean, it's okay. It kind of does the job. It's not terribly well designed, and I think design is an important thing, and it's a bit flimsy, and I still haven't figured out how on earth you get these two parts to stay together without requiring a well, a peg seems to be my best option at the moment. So I'm not convinced that's a brilliant design, but I'm going to give it a go. We gave the Trangia a 2-year go. We took it all over the world, and we'll do the same for this. Now, MSR do seem, do have lots of little accessories that you can buy for their cookers. I mean, this packs up very easily, as you can see. It's all sprung loaded, so it will spring out at you, but you get the idea. One of the accessories they do, which I do recommend, which I'm quite impressed with, is their Expedition maintenance set. Really solid little box. Looks like a little bicycle repair kit. Spare parts for the entire unit, the entire multi-fuel system. Also replacement jets so that you can use the different types of fuel. Very cheap, not very expensive at all, about 20 quid. So worth money, worth having if you're going to be out and about. Now, that's another multi-fuel option. Now, an OmniFuel option by Primus, this is what Stace has. Now his, when we were in Russia, when we were bumming around out there, and we just stopped for some tea, we would reach for Stace's Primus. And the reason we would reach for his Primus was that it was the fastest to set up. The Trangia was a bit fiddly, but he just popped this out, the legs come out, creates a base, he puts that onto the top of a gas canister, and then it's basically like a blowtorch. It's the loudest stove I have ever heard. It scares the birds out of the trees, but my God, it boils water fast. But it's a true OmniFuel stove. There's an attachment for this that means that you can plug it into a fuel bottle and burn kerosene, jet fuel, unleaded oil, same as the MSR multi stove and the Trangia multi, but this also does gas. And that, I think, makes it truly flexible. It packs up fairly small. I don't think it's quite as compact as the Dragonfly, but it's still not far off. And the actual valve for the multi-fuel is pretty solid. It's metal again, but it's a combination of plastic around the side, and the Primus just plugs into the side of it. I think this is a tremendous design. I think it's one of the most flexible stoves I've seen, and the speed at which it heats up water is phenomenal. Well worth it. But flexibility is the name of the game, and you want to be able, when you're on the road, to have lots of different options. So having things that just require water, having things that require excess cooking is great, but one of the coolest cookers we have ever come across was a system that Stace found, and it's called the Grilliput. Now, talking of windshields, here's the side of a Ford Anglia that Stace has. I can't take the piss out of it because actually I bought it for him. So I'm going to give that a go with the MSR, put that away. This is Stace's tool roll. Now, this is his kitchen setup. How awesomely amazing is this? In fact, this is so amazing that we're going to do a separate video about what kind of gadgets and things you should take with you on the road, of which this is going to feature highly. It's built by Wasp from thelondonbikers.com, which I'm sure you can find it, but I'm here to talk about the Grilliput. And this is it. This is a barbecue. I kid you not. You unscrew the bottom, out screws another side, out of which comes lots of pegs that form bases and crossbars for a fully featured barbecue. Now, I'm not going to stand here and show you how this all goes together. What I'm going to do is take you outside and show you this in action. Now, let's find the fire base, which I put safe. Here it is. The Grilliput ships with this, which is the base for the fire. How awesome is that? How clever is that? Packs up. You can keep a little bit of charcoal in there if you want to for transport. So that, combined with this, gives you a fuller feature barbecue. Now, I'm going to take the tongs out of Stace's tool roll, and I want you to follow me outside. We've got that running. If we don't squash the dog first. The Grilliput takes 5 or 6 minutes to put together, but look at this. This is the barbecue. It's set up, fully lit. We put these sausages on just before we started. Oh, cooking beautifully. So even when you're traveling, even when you're on the road in the middle of nowhere, you can have a barbecue. That's just tremendous. That's the coolest thing in the world ever. So when it comes to stoves, try and keep yourself as flexible as possible. Have a real think about what it is that you're actually going to be cooking, what you really need, whether or not you need a complicated system, whether or not you need a simple system. But most importantly, always ensure that, hello Sam, always ensure that you have a barbecue with you. Thanks for watching the LondonBiker.com.